Mr. Speaker, with all due respect to the President of the United States, the central argument in his veto message accompanying the Justice Against Sponsors of Terrorism Act, reciprocity, is weak, unsupported, and egregiously flawed. The White House drafters of the veto message either didn't read the carefully crafted bipartisan bill or are seeking to conflate the plain legislative text, since JASTA only permits access to U.S. courts by waiving immunity for foreign governments, not foreign government officials or employees, and corrects conflicting case law except in the cases where someone knowingly aids, abets, or conspires with a State Department-designated foreign terrorist organization. Thus, the President is wrong to assert that under the hallowed principle of reciprocity, U.S. officials and military personnel could be subjected to lawsuits. It's worth noting that nothing precludes that now or ever, but as an argument for veto, it simply doesn't pass muster. While sovereign immunity has its place in the conduct of responsible diplomacy, it is not absolute, as even the 1976 Foreign Sovereign Immunities Act contains 9 exceptions. In 2008, Mr. Speaker, as you know, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit dismissed legal actions against Saudi Arabia and other defendants, holding that U.S. courts lacked jurisdiction. Other actions by the courts have thwarted the full accountabilities that Americans expect and deserve. JASTA corrects that. The victims of 9/11 and their grieving families deserve what JASTA empowers: a judicial process to discover the unfettered and ugly truth that to this day remains cloaked, concealed, and covered up. JASTA provides a way to hold perpetrators and enablers of terrorism to account. Anyone who has read the recently declassified 28 pages of findings from the House-Senate Intelligence Joint Inquiry in 2002, despite the heavy redactions, knows the provocative evidence of Saudi complicity in 9/11, and that remains unexamined. The 28 pages are filled with names and suspected associations with the government of Saudi Arabia. Mr. Speaker, I have worked with and befriended many of the 9/11 family members. Many died from my district, and I can state unequivocally that there would have been no 9/11 Commission and other historic policy initiatives without them. They have been extraordinary, tenacious, committed, and courageous. On September 20th, many of those family members gathered outside the White House to appeal to the President to sign JASTA. 2 of the remarkable widows from New Jersey, Lori and Mindy, carried this sign to my left, your right, with a picture of President Obama and Saudi King Salman from the front page of the New York Daily News. The headline said, "Don't choose them over us, U.S., United States." The President chose the King, and he vetoed the bill. We can correct that today. Vote to override. Yield back.